What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here. I have a very important Palantir update to share with all of you guys this afternoon here. We have been talking a lot about this situation with cutting government spending and if Palantir is going to be on the chopping block. Now, again, with some of these developments here, we have seen the Department of Defense and the Pentagon looking to cut spending, but with the recent developments this week, we have some very interesting news to talk about here. Now, in addition to this, we are also going to be talking a little bit about the broad market here and everything that is going on to make sure that you guys are prepared going into the rest of this week and beyond, and also the chart of Palantir. So, before we get into all of that information, guys, if you do enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos here, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading these videos out to as many people who actually want to learn. And again, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys are subscribed, and most importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos go live. And for those of you guys that are day trading this market, taking advantage of all of the amazing volatility out there, again, one of the main problems that day traders have is being significantly undercapitalized. So again, a lot of these prop firms are going to have some pretty crazy deals. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but one of the best ones out there right now, Take Profit Trader, is having quite honestly one of the best sales that I've ever seen in the prop firm space. If you use code VIX with the link down below, you get 30% off for life. Remember, they have no consistency rules, no activation fee, and you're able to take daily payouts, which is absolutely epic. So if you guys are interested in that and need some more of those accounts, make sure you guys check out that link down below. But let's get into it over here. So the first thing that we need to talk about is kind of why the market was getting spooked as a whole at the highs that Palantir was witnessing earlier on in this year. So Hegseth wanted to cut 8% from the defense budget for each of the next 5 years. Now remember, Palantir still has a significant portion of its revenue coming from these government contracts, and this is one of the main reasons why Palantir sold off so aggressively as we were getting into the middle of February here. But again, the market was kind of just looking for an excuse to sell this thing. Palantir had an absolutely epic run in 2024 and the beginning of 2025, and a lot of people at the first sign of a little bit of bad news were starting to book profits. Now again, when we move on a little bit further here, on March 20th, the DoD to cut about $580 million in spending. Now, when you think about this situation as a whole, again, if Palantir is going to be losing government contracts here, specifically in the defense space where they operate pretty aggressively, that is not going to be a good thing for their earnings moving forward. But again, as I've said time and time again, when you look at the new contracts that Palantir has received, and also some of these other companies that are actually losing contracts, it does not appear that Palantir's government contracting business is going to be on the chopping block in any meaningful way. And we also have some comments from Alex Karp here that we've talked about in the past that also relay this information as well. Let's roll this clip from Alex Karp.
Been under a little bit of pressure now. I watched really closely last week. The stock had made a really big rebound, and then that evening, Mongo posted their results. One of their highly profitable contracts, apparently with the government, won't be renewed, right? So Doge out there, that same day they showed the wasteful spending at HUD and just how crazy it was. So now the speculation is that Doge will have a negative impact on Palantir, although fans of your company who loved your company long before I did, tell me no, this actually is a positive for Palantir.
Well, look, at Palantir, we're very focused on what will make the West superior in the commercial space, mainly here on the battlefield. So even if it were for Palantir, I think bad for Palantir, I'd be in favor of it. I mean, how often have critics of Palantir been right? And it's like, look, if you want to reform an institution, whether it's commercial or government or anything, what is the first thing you're going to do? Change the unit economics, make the customer experience better. How are you going to do that realistically in the West? You're going to buy the best software and implement it. Who are you going to buy from? So, I mean, and I love that we have all these skeptics. They just can keep on. The skeptics, as annoying as they are, just come out and tell the venture community how much we're going to fail. It's like, but for the somewhat idiotic skeptics of Palantir, we would probably be competing with 50 companies. So please amplify your skepticism. Palantir is very pro-Doge. I'm pro-Doge. I believe it's going to be great for America, and I'm supportive of it. And Read into that what you will.
Right.
But America's going to become more lethal, more economically strong, and we're participating in that, and we're thrilled. And
so when you look at all of this information in total, everybody, it does not appear that Palantir's government contracting business is going to be affected really in any meaningful way by this new administration. And then we move into what was announced this week, which is a very kind of shocking turn of events here. When we come over here, Trump and Hegseth promise record $1 trillion Pentagon budget. The surprise announcement comes as the Defense Department prepares to lay off tens of thousands of civilians. President Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth pledged a first ever $1 trillion defense budget proposal on Monday, a record sum for the military here. Hegseth went further in an X post on Monday evening, saying Trump is rebuilding our military and fast. Now, this is about $160 billion increase to the defense budget here. And again, with what Alex Karp has said before and everything that we've seen out of Palantir and their relationship with the government, I would not be surprised at all if Palantir is going to be receiving some pretty sizable new government contracts in the near future, which is absolutely going to help boost revenues. But remember, they still are going to need to grow their commercial business, which in this type of environment here, the one thing that you have to think about, we've talked a lot about consumer sentiment, a lot on this channel in the past couple of days here and weeks, and how that really lowers the consumer's confidence in going out and spending money in the economy. But the same thing is true for new investment and new contracts, especially in the commercial sector. If companies are very, very kind of uncertain or cautious and really worried about where the economy is going to go in the future over the next couple of quarters, well, it's less likely for them to go out and actually perform and engage in these new types of contracts. Now, Palantir can go out and make a lot of these organizations a lot more efficient. So in that sense, Palantir could easily get some more of these commercial clients as well, but that's something to keep in mind. Remember, the market doesn't necessarily like to see a solid and very, very significant portion of a company's revenue coming from really one place, and in this case, that's the United States government. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the chart of Palantir here before we kind of get into some of the other things that have been happening with the market really over the last 24 hours here. And what I would say about Palantir right now is that you are probably in for some more short-term pain. When you think about the overall situation that we are in with the market, I would not trust any of these drastic, let's call them bear market rallies here, just yet. A lot of people are going to be looking at price in price movement to determine what they're going to be doing, whether they're going to start buying the dip or continue buying the dip in any of the names or the market. And I think that's the complete wrong way to do it. What you need to be looking for is the situation that we are currently in the kind of broad landscape here, is it changing? Well, we could see a lot of negotiating start to happen with these new tariffs in a lot of these other countries, but China is going to be a big player, and as we're going to take a look at, there are new China tariffs. What we also see here is that we have talked about this zone on Palantir a lot. You ran through it, you came down, retested, popped back out. When you break through and retest this zone here and are not able to reclaim these levels above right around 85 here, this is going to be a bearish chart setup. We could easily see this come down to the 200 EMA on the daily time frame here, and if the market wants to make another leg down, it is possible that Palantir does take out this recent low here. But what I will say is Palantir has shown a decent amount of strength here versus the broad market, and the fact that it is still hanging around in this zone, again, is a pretty strong sign. Now, what I also want to look at here quickly, China slaps 84% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods in response to Trump. Again, as I said in the VIX Insights market research report for you guys this week, the name of the game and the key word for this week is going to be deal making and also kind of retaliation and escalation. Now, we've seen a lot more retaliation than we have seen really deal making so far this week. The United States placed a 104% tariff on Chinese goods yesterday, and then China came back out today, retaliating and increasing their tariff amounts to 84% on U.S. goods. And because of this, and again, a lot of what's been happening with these new tariffs, there's been rumors of a bailout for farmers caught in Trump's trade war already being discussed. If we don't get something, it will be a disaster. And here is exactly what we saw come out today. U.S. weighs farmer bailout as China retaliation threatens exports. So again, there could be this bailout coming in the near future. That could provide a little bit of kind of a let's just say kind of a boost to the market, that the United States government is going to really have this kind of economic put going to step in and really help out if some of these industries are going to witness significant downturns. But again, the downturn is there to begin with. So again, when you think about this market here, guys, you have to consider that we are heading into earnings season. We have big bank earnings on Friday. What do you think Jamie Dimon is going to say when he is handed the mic? He's probably not going to speak very positively about the outlook of the economy. We have a Federal Reserve and in the chairman, Jerome Powell, who is really looking at this situation here from a wait-and-see perspective. They do not really expect to be cutting rates in the near future, even though market expectations for May rate cuts is starting to hit about 60% now. We have growth expectations slowing down. We have Walmart and Delta starting to pull their guidance there, which is, again, another thing that I've outlined for you guys in those VIX Insights research reports. If you guys aren't in VIX Insights yet, I don't know what you're doing. It's $10 a month for some of the best market research that's out there. But again, nothing has really changed about this current situation, and it is better to be late than wrong in this market environment. So guys, that is going to wrap up this video here. If you guys did enjoy the information and analysis, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. And again, if you never want to miss another video like this, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos go live. But until next time, guys, I will see you. Peace.